Most men believe calm is something you are born with. They think you either have it or you don't. They look at calm men and say, that's just his personality. That belief is a lie. Calm is not personality. Calm is not temperament. Calm is not luck. Calm is a trained response. Most men lose control not because they are weak, but because they react. They react to tone. They react to pressure. They react to disrespect. They react to uncertainty. And every reaction hands power away. The man who stays calm doesn't feel less. He controls more. The man who stays calm doesn't suppress emotion. He delays it. He shapes it. He decides when it's allowed to move. This is why calm men dominate rooms without raising their voice. This is why pressure exposes some men and sharpens others. This is why calm is mistaken for confidence, authority, even intimidation. Because when everyone else is reacting, the calm man is choosing. And anything you can choose, you can train. Most men never learn this. They spend their lives blaming stress, childhood, genetics, or personality. They say, I'm just not a calm person. What they really mean is, I never trained control. By the end of this, that excuse will be gone. You're about to understand why calm is a skill, why most people never develop it, and how to train it until pressure stops working on you. Not by pretending, not by breathing tricks alone, not by positive thinking, but by rebuilding how your nervous system responds to the world. From this point forward, calm will no longer be something you admire in others. It will be something you execute. Most men think calm is passive. They think it means softness. They think it means letting things slide. That misunderstanding is why they never train it. Calm is not passivity. Calm is pressure control. A reactive man is easy to move. Change the tone, he changes. Apply urgency, he folds. Add social pressure, he leaks. Calm men don't resist pressure. They absorb it. Pressure only works when your nervous system believes something must be done now. Calm is the removal of false urgency. That's why calm men feel slow in fast rooms. That's why reactive men feel rushed around calm people. Two nervous systems enter. Only one sets the tempo. And tempo is power. Look closely at men who lose control. They don't lose control randomly. They lose it at predictable points. When they are challenged, when they are watched, when they feel judged, when they don't know the outcome, when silence stretches too long. Those moments expose something deeper than emotion. They expose lack of training. Your nervous system was not designed for modern pressure. It was designed for survival. 10,000 years ago, pressure meant death. Now pressure means a delayed reply, a raised eyebrow, a meeting, a negotiation, a woman pulling away, a superior questioning you. Your body reacts as if a predator appeared. Heart rate spikes, breath shortens, muscles tighten, thoughts accelerate, and before logic arrives, reaction has already happened. This is why men say things they regret, why they justify when they should be silent, why they raise their voice when lowering it would give them control. They didn't choose wrong. They reacted automatically. Calm men don't have better morals. They have better buffers. Between stimulus and response, there is a gap. Most men have no gap. Stimulus hits, response fires. Calm men expand the gap. That gap is where authority lives. That gap is where choice exists. That gap is where you stop being predictable. And predictability is weakness. If people can predict how you'll react, They can control you without touching you. Raise their voice, you react. Ignore you, you chase. Criticize, you explain. Withdraw, you pursue. Calm men break that pattern. They don't give reactions on demand. They don't leak emotion on cue. They don't answer pressure with speed. They let pressure hang. And pressure hates silence. Most men panic in silence because silence exposes them. It removes their scripts. It removes their defenses. It removes their rehearsed identity. Calm men are comfortable there, not because they are fearless, but because they trained themselves to remain intact when nothing happens. Calm is not the absence of emotion. It is the absence of compulsion. The compulsion to reply, the compulsion to defend, the compulsion to explain, the compulsion to fix discomfort immediately. That compulsion is what you will remove. Because once you remove compulsion, pressure loses leverage. You don't need to dominate people. You need to stop being dominated by situations. That's the difference most men never understand. They try to control outcomes. Calm men control state, and state always wins. Most men confuse calm with confidence. They are not the same. Confidence depends on outcome. Calm does not. A confident man feels strong when things go his way. A calm man remains intact when they don't. That's why confidence collapses under pressure and calm sharpens. Pressure doesn't test your strength. It tests your nervous system. When pressure appears, your body asks one question: is this safe? If the answer is unclear, your system escalates. Escalation looks like talking more, explaining faster, moving restlessly, checking reactions, trying to regain control externally. This is where most men bleed power. They think action creates control, but under pressure, action is usually leakage. Calm men don't rush to restore comfort. They allow discomfort to exist. That single difference rewires every interaction. Because the man who can tolerate discomfort controls the man who cannot. Most people act not to win, but to escape tension. They reply to end anxiety. They agree to stop friction. They justify to reduce judgment. They smile to avoid silence. This is not strategy. This is self-soothing. Calm is the refusal to self-soothe through behavior. That's why calm feels heavy to others. It forces them to carry their own tension. And most people hate that. They want you to react because your reaction relieves their nervous system. When you don't, they feel exposed. They feel unsure. They feel watched. They feel small. Not because you attacked, but because you didn't rescue them from discomfort. This is why calm men are often described as intimidating, even when they say nothing. It's not dominance. It's non-participation. You are not fighting their emotional storm. You are refusing to enter it. And storms collapse when they have no friction. Calm is trained through subtraction, not addition. You don't add techniques. You remove leaks. Most men leak stability in three primary ways: through their breath, through their eyes, through their voice. They reveal their internal state before they speak. A sharp inhale before answering. Rapid blinking when challenged. Pitch rising at the end of sentences. Speed increasing under scrutiny. These are tells, not moral failures. Biological habits. And habits can be trained. But only if you stop pretending calm is a personality trait. Calm is a skill set built through repetition under load. No one is born calm. They are conditioned. Conditioned by environment, stress, chaos, or discipline. You are conditioned right now, just not deliberately. Your system has learned that reacting quickly equals safety. We will unteach that. The first reprogramming begins with breath, not meditation, not relaxation, control. Under pressure, your breath accelerates upward into the chest. This signals danger. Calm men breathe downward into the diaphragm. This signals control. The rule is simple. Longer exhale than inhale. That single ratio slows the heart, widens perception, and restores cognitive control. But here's the key most men miss. You don't use breath to calm down after reacting. You use breath to prevent reaction before it happens. That means breathing while someone is speaking, breathing while you are being watched, breathing while silence stretches. This is where training actually occurs. If you only practice calm alone, you are rehearsing comfort, not control. Calm must be trained inside tension. The second leak is visual. Men under pressure search for validation with their eyes. They check reactions. They scan faces. They look away too quickly. They blink too often. This communicates uncertainty before words arrive. Calm men don't stare aggressively. They don't avoid either. They rest their gaze. Soft, still, unhurried. They don't hunt for approval. They don't dodge judgment. They let the other person sit inside their own expression. Silence plus steady gaze creates asymmetry. One nervous system is regulated, the other is not. And asymmetry creates authority. The third leak is vocal. Under pressure, men speed up. They raise pitch. They explain. Explanation is often a disguised apology, not for what you did, but for existing without permission. Calm men speak slower under pressure, not faster. Their voice drops, not rises. They don't fill silence. They allow it to stretch, because silence forces the other person to move, and whoever moves first is negotiating. Calm men don't dominate rooms. Rooms orient around them. That's the difference. They don't push energy outward. They stop leaking it. When you stop leaking energy, pressure has nothing to grab. Most men are calm only when conditions are calm. That is not calm. That is comfort. Real calm appears when you don't know the outcome. You're being evaluated. You're being challenged. You're being ignored. You're being tested. Those moments reveal whether calm is trained or imagined. An imagined calm collapses immediately. The goal is not to feel calm. The goal is to remain functional when calm is absent. That's training. That's discipline. And that's where control is built. Most men think losing control looks dramatic. Shouting, anger, explosions. That's a lie. Most loss of control is quiet. It's the micro-adjustment, the forced smile, the rushed sentence, the unnecessary explanation, the subtle retreat from silence. That's where power leaves first. Because power doesn't leave through collapse. It leaves through concession. Every time you rush to respond, you are conceding time. Every time you explain without being asked, you are conceding authority. Every time you soften a boundary to keep peace, you are conceding position. Calm men don't concede. They wait. And waiting is not passive. Waiting is pressure applied inward. When you wait, your nervous system screams first, not the other person's. That's the test. If you cannot tolerate your own internal pressure, you will always try to release it outward, through words, through movement, through compliance. That's why calm is rare. It requires the ability to sit inside your own tension without exporting it. Most men confuse calm with suppression. They think calm means pushing emotion down. That creates fractures. Suppressed emotion leaks elsewhere. Sarcasm, withdrawal, passive aggression, burnout. Calm is not suppression. Calm is containment. You allow emotion to exist without letting it dictate behavior. You don't erase the fire. You build a furnace. That's discipline. There is a moment in every interaction where control shifts. It's not loud. It's not obvious. It happens in the pause. Someone challenges you, questions you, pushes a boundary. And there is a fraction of a second where your system decides, react or hold. Most men react because holding feels unsafe, because silence feels like exposure, because stillness feels like losing ground. But stillness is ground. It is the ground others stand on while trying to move you. And when you don't move, they reveal themselves. They talk more. They justify. They escalate. They backpedal. All information leaks upward to the man who does not rush. Calm is not soft. It is uncompromising. A calm man does not negotiate with chaos. He does not argue with emotion. He does not mirror volatility. He does not explain himself into safety. He allows the other person to experience their own instability without rescuing them from it. This feels cruel to reactive people because they expect participation. They expect validation through reaction. When you don't provide it, they feel abandoned. That's not your problem. That's their dependency. Training calm means training tolerance. Tolerance for silence, tolerance for ambiguity, tolerance for being misunderstood, tolerance for delayed resolution. Most men collapse under ambiguity. They want closure immediately. They want reassurance. They want certainty. They want confirmation they're okay. Calm men don't need immediate certainty. They trust their internal structure more than external validation. And trust is built through repeated proof. Proof that you can survive tension without performing. Here is the rule that separates trained calm from performative calm. If you need others to behave calmly for you to remain calm, you are not calm. You are regulated by environment. Calm men remain steady while others oscillate. That's not emotional detachment, that's emotional leadership. Most men try to control situations. Calm men control themselves. And self-control is not restraint, it's priority. When pressure appears, the calm man asks, "What matters right now?" Not emotionally, strategically. He doesn't chase dignity. He preserves leverage. He doesn't prove strength. He maintains position. He doesn't win moments. He wins trajectories. This is why calm men often seem slower. They are not slower. They are processing wider. While others narrow under pressure, calm men widen. They see tone. They see posture. They see timing. They are not trapped inside the moment. They are standing above it. You don't train calm by affirmations. You train calm by exposure. Controlled exposure to discomfort. Long silences. Delayed replies. Unresolved conversations. Firm boundaries without justification. Each exposure strengthens the system. Each exposure tells the nervous system, I survived without reacting. And survival rewires instinct. At first, calm feels unnatural because your system is addicted to reaction. Reaction gives relief. Calm withholds relief. That's why it feels heavy. That heaviness is capacity being built, like muscle under load. Eventually, something changes. Silence stops feeling threatening. Pressure stops feeling urgent. Chaos stops feeling contagious. You don't become numb, you become anchored. Others feel it. They slow down around you. They explain themselves to you. They wait for your response, not because you demanded it, because you didn't give it away. Calm is not charisma. It is gravity, and gravity does not announce itself. It simply pulls. Most men believe calm is something you either have or you don't. They say things like, "He's just naturally calm. That's his personality." I'm not built like that. That belief keeps them weak because it removes responsibility. If calm were personality, you could never train it. And yet, the men with the most calm are almost never the men who had easy lives. They are the men who were forced to build structure under pressure. Calm is not inherited. It is conditioned. Your nervous system does not seek truth. It seeks familiarity. If chaos was familiar, you will recreate chaos. If urgency was normal, you will manufacture urgency. If emotional volatility was rewarded, you will unconsciously perform it. This is why calm feels wrong at first, because it violates conditioning. When you slow down, your system interprets it as danger. When you pause, your mind screams, "Do something." That scream is not intuition, it is withdrawal. Every reactive behavior is a coping strategy. Talking too much, explaining, oversharing, apologizing prematurely, filling silence. These are not personality traits. They are stress responses, and stress responses can be retrained. Here is the truth most men never hear. You do not need to feel calm to act calm. Action comes first. Physiology follows. If you wait to feel calm before behaving calmly, you will wait forever. Calm behavior creates calm chemistry, not the other way around. The body learns through evidence. When you remain still during pressure and nothing bad happens, the system updates. When you delay response and the world doesn't collapse, the system updates. When you say less and respect increases, the system updates. Each successful hold rewrites expectation. This is why early training feels mechanical. You will feel fake, detached, cold, unnatural. Ignore that. Authenticity is not the absence of discipline. Authenticity is alignment over time. You are not becoming fake. You are becoming unfamiliar to your old self. Calm is trained through 3 layers. Body timing, meaning. If you skip any layer, the structure collapses. The body must learn stillness first. You cannot think your way into calm. Your muscles broadcast your internal state. Fidgeting leaks insecurity. Tension leaks urgency. Erratic movement leaks fear. A calm body tells the brain, there is no emergency. This is not theory. This is biology. The simplest drill is brutal in its honesty. Sit. Hands still. Feet planted. Spine upright. Jaw loose. Eyes steady. Do nothing. No phone. No distraction. No stimulation. 5 minutes will feel like punishment. Good. That discomfort is untrained calm. Next comes timing. Timing is where most men fail. They speak too soon, move too fast, decide too early. Speed feels powerful. It isn't. Speed is surrender to stimulus. Calm men choose tempo. They do not match energy. They set it. Every pause you introduce forces others to reveal theirs. Their impatience, their insecurity, their need for control. You don't need to expose people. They expose themselves when you don't rush. Then comes meaning. Meaning is the internal narrative. Reactive men tell themselves, this is disrespect. This is pressure. This is a threat. Calm men translate differently. This is information. This is noise. This is someone losing regulation. Same situation, different meaning. Different meaning produces different chemistry. You are not calm because nothing triggers you. You are calm because triggers no longer dictate interpretation. This is where true training begins. You stop asking, how do I feel? You start asking, what does this require? Not emotionally, functionally. Calm men are not indifferent. They are selective. They invest energy only where leverage exists. Everything else is allowed to pass. Most men exhaust themselves fighting battles that don't matter. They argue to be right. They react to be seen. They engage to feel significant. Calm men conserve. They let small things remain small. They let emotional people burn themselves out. They don't interrupt entropy. Here is a rule you must internalize. If something can only affect you by making you react, it has no real power. Real threats don't need emotion. They operate regardless. Noise requires participation. Silence starves it. This is why calm men appear intimidating, not because they dominate, because they do not participate in emotional theater. Others feel exposed performing alone. At some point, you will notice a shift. Situations that once hijacked you no longer do. Not because you're suppressing, but because your system has learned a higher baseline. Calm becomes default. Reaction becomes optional. This is the difference between discipline and control. Discipline is effort. Control is absence of effort. Discipline builds control. Calm is not the absence of intensity, it is intensity without leakage. You can care deeply and remain still. You can feel pressure and remain slow. You can be dangerous without being loud. The men who rule environments are not the most expressive. They are the most regulated. And regulation is trainable. We will go deeper, much deeper, because this is only the surface layer. The next phase is where calm stops being behavior and becomes identity, not claimed, installed. At first, calm feels empty. Men confuse emptiness with weakness. They think, if I'm not reacting, I'm disappearing. If I'm not expressing, I'm losing presence. This is backwards. Presence is not noise. Presence is weight. And weight is felt in stillness. Think about gravity. It does not move toward objects. Objects move toward it. Calm works the same way. When you stop chasing interaction, interaction starts circling you. Not because you demand it, because you no longer leak need. Most men are loud internally. Even when silent, they're screaming inside, rehearsing responses, imagining outcomes, arguing with ghosts. That internal noise radiates. People feel it. They just don't know why they feel uneasy around you. Calm training is not about looking composed. It's about removing internal commentary. When the commentary stops, your face relaxes, your voice lowers, your movements slow, not by force, by absence. This is why calm men speak less, not as a tactic, because there is less to compensate for. Here is a hard truth. If you feel the need to explain yourself, you are not calm. You are seeking regulation externally. Calm does not need agreement. It does not need permission. It does not need validation. Reactive men negotiate their worth in every conversation. Calm men assume worth and adjust behavior accordingly. This assumption is not arrogance. It is internal closure. Calm begins when you stop waiting for emotional resolution before acting. You act cleanly. You speak precisely. You move deliberately. Feelings catch up later, or they don't. Either way, control remains. You will notice something uncomfortable during training. When you don't react, people push harder. They test, they provoke, they escalate. This is not failure. This is calibration. They are trying to locate your boundary. If you move, they found it. If you stay still, they adjust. Most men cave here. They interpret escalation as danger. It isn't. It's uncertainty. People escalate when they lose leverage. The calm man does not counter-escalate. He waits. He observes. He lets the other side reveal the ceiling of their control. Once revealed, they become predictable. Predictability is power. Calm is not passive. It is strategic patience. You are not frozen. You are collecting data. Eventually, people learn. Raising energy doesn't move you. Lowering energy doesn't move you. Emotion doesn't move you. Only clarity does. So they become clearer, or they leave. Both outcomes serve you. Calm filters your environment. You stop attracting chaos, not because chaos disappears, but because chaos cannot attach. Most men think calm means not caring. Wrong. Calm means caring without urgency. Urgency is the poison. Urgency collapses judgment. Urgency forces premature decisions. Urgency hands control to whoever applies pressure first. Calm men win because they are last to move, and the last move is the strongest. Notice how often people rush you. Answer now. Decide now. Explain now. Pressure is always time-based. Remove the clock, pressure dies. This is why silence is so powerful. Silence stretches time, and time exposes weakness. Your goal is not to be unreadable. Your goal is to be unmovable. Unreadability is a byproduct. Calm men don't project mystery. They remove access. Mystery appears naturally. As training progresses, your internal experience changes. Situations that once felt heavy become light, not because they matter less, but because you stopped carrying imaginary weight. Most stress is anticipatory. You suffer outcomes that never happen. Calm men suffer only reality, and reality is almost always manageable. There is a moment where you realize something quietly terrifying. You no longer need emotional permission to act correctly. You don't need to feel confident. You don't need to feel calm. You just do what alignment requires. The feeling follows, or doesn't. Either way, the outcome improves. This is when calm stops being a tool and becomes a baseline. But we are not done, because calm under normal conditions is easy. The real test is pressure with consequences. Public pressure, social pressure, financial pressure. That's where most men collapse. Next, we dismantle why, and how to train calm when stakes are real. Pressure exposes what training hides. Anyone can appear calm when nothing is at stake. Very few remain steady when something can be lost. Reputation, money, status, control. This is where emotional stability separates into two categories: borrowed calm and earned calm. Borrowed calm collapses under consequence. Earned calm does not. Here is the mistake most men make. They try to feel calm before acting under pressure. This guarantees failure. Pressure exists precisely to prevent calm feelings. If calm depended on comfort, it would never exist when needed. Earned calm works differently. It does not wait for safety. It creates safety through structure. When pressure rises, three things happen inside an untrained man. His attention narrows. His time perception accelerates. His identity feels threatened. These three distortions create panic. Attention narrows first. He stops seeing the full situation and locks onto the threat. The angry face, the raised voice, the deadline, the number. Tunnel vision kills judgment. Then time compresses. Everything feels urgent. Every second feels like loss. This urgency forces impulsive decisions. Most mistakes are not wrong choices. They are early choices. Finally, identity enters. This affects how I'm seen. This questions my competence. This challenges my authority. Once identity is threatened, logic shuts down. The body takes over. Calm training reverses this chain, not by suppressing emotion, but by preloading structure. The calm man does not evaluate pressure in the moment. He already decided who he is before pressure arrived. That decision becomes his anchor. He does not ask, "How do I feel right now?" He asks, "What does a disciplined man do here?" The answer does not change with emotion. This is why values matter. Not as philosophy, as automation. When rules are defined in advance, decision fatigue disappears. Example: I do not raise my voice. I do not explain myself twice. I do not decide under emotional pressure. I do not negotiate my boundaries. These are not affirmations. They are operating principles. When pressure hits, you don't think. You execute. Execution feels calm because thinking is minimized. Most men drown because they improvise under stress. Improvisation is expensive. Training is cheap. You don't need courage to stay calm. You need repetition. Calm is neurological familiarity. The nervous system relaxes when it recognizes a pattern. If pressure is familiar, it stops feeling dangerous. This is why exposure matters. You don't train calm by avoiding discomfort. You train it by entering controlled stress without reacting. Start small. Pause before responding. Delay replies. Hold eye contact. Allow silence. Let discomfort exist without fixing it. Discomfort is not a signal. It is just sensation. Most men confuse sensation with danger. Calm men separate the two. When discomfort appears, they don't escape it. They let it pass through. Nothing breaks. Nothing collapses. The body learns. This rewires the threat response. Over time, pressure stops triggering urgency. Urgency stops triggering reaction. Reaction stops triggering regret. Then something changes socially. People slow down around you. They speak more carefully. They explain themselves more. They test you less. Not because you intimidate them, because your nervous system is dominant. Regulated systems lead. Dysregulated systems follow. This is not theory. This is biology. Humans unconsciously mirror emotional states. When you stay calm, others either settle or expose instability. Both outcomes increase your leverage. Eventually, people associate you with safety, and safety is authority. Here is the paradox. The calmer you become, the less you need to assert control. Control happens naturally when you stop chasing it. But there is one final obstacle, and it destroys most men even after progress. They confuse calm with suppression. Suppression always leaks. If you are holding calm like a mask, pressure will crack it. True calm is not held. It is empty. You are not restraining reaction. You are removing the trigger. Triggers disappear when you stop attaching meaning. Meaning creates emotion. Remove meaning. Emotion weakens. The calm man does not personalize events. He interprets them structurally. An insult becomes data. A threat becomes information. A loss becomes adjustment. Nothing becomes identity. This detachment is not coldness, it is clarity. When nothing attacks your identity, nothing destabilizes you. This is why emotional stability is rare. It requires the death of ego-based interpretation. Most men would rather feel important than remain unshaken. Calm demands humility. You stop defending an image. You start protecting alignment. And alignment is quiet. The final stage of calm training is acceptance. Not passive acceptance, strategic acceptance. You accept some things will be unfair. Some people will dislike you. Some outcomes will disappoint. None of these require reaction. Reaction is optional, always. Once this becomes internalized, you realize something profound. Nothing external can destabilize you without your permission, and permission can be withdrawn. At that point, calm is no longer effort. It is default. The room feels quieter. Time feels slower. Your presence feels heavier. You don't dominate. You don't impress. You don't perform. You simply remain. And that is enough. At this stage, calm stops being something you do and becomes something you are not disturbed from. That distinction matters. Doing calm requires energy. Being undisturbed conserves it. Most men exhaust themselves trying to stay composed. They clench. They monitor themselves. They suppress impulses. This creates internal friction. Friction always breaks under pressure. Real calm has no friction. Nothing inside is fighting anything else. The difference is internal permission. Unstable men secretly believe they must react. They believe silence equals weakness, that delay equals loss, that not responding equals surrender. This belief keeps them reactive. Stable men know something else. Not reacting is not passive. It is selective engagement. When you stop feeling obligated to respond, pressure loses its leverage. Here is the reframe that completes the training. Pressure only exists when someone wants something from you. Your reaction, your agreement, your fear, your validation. If you do not give them what they want, pressure collapses. This is why emotional stability feels threatening to others. It denies reward. Angry people want reaction. Manipulative people want urgency. Insecure people want reassurance. Calm gives none, and without reward, behavior changes. This is why calm men are respected even when they say little. They are not feeding chaos. They are starving it. Now we reach the final transformation. You stop asking, how do I maintain calm? And start asking, what am I refusing to engage with? Calm is subtraction, not addition. You subtract unnecessary explanations, unnecessary emotions, unnecessary urgency, unnecessary conflict. What remains is clarity. Clarity allows you to act once instead of reacting constantly. This is where power consolidates, not through dominance, through consistency. People trust what doesn't fluctuate. They follow what doesn't wobble. They respect what doesn't chase approval. This is why emotional stability compounds. Every calm response strengthens the next. Every non-reaction increases credibility. Every moment you remain unmoved teaches your nervous system, I am safe. Safety creates patience. Patience creates leverage. Leverage creates authority, and authority attracts opportunity. At this level, calm no longer feels impressive. It feels ordinary, which is the highest form of mastery. Nothing dramatic, nothing forced, just presence. You speak slower because you can. You listen longer because you don't need to interrupt. You decide later because urgency is optional. People notice. They always do. They won't say, "He's calm." They'll say, "He's solid. He's grounded. He's hard to move." That is the outcome. Calm is not softness. It is structural strength. And like all strength, it was built quietly, repeatedly, without witnesses. This is why calm is a skill, not a personality. And once trained, it never leaves you. Most men think emotional stability is something you are born with. They say things like, "He's just calm by nature. That's his personality." I'm not built like that. This belief is comforting and destructive. Because if calm is a trait, then instability becomes an excuse. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Every emotionally stable man you've ever met trained it, consciously or unconsciously, through consequence. No one stays calm because life was easy. They stay calm because chaos became familiar. The nervous system does not respond to philosophy. It responds to exposure. If your body has only experienced safety, it panics at pressure. If it has experienced pressure repeatedly without collapse, it adapts. This is why men who have been through real adversity often seem unnervingly calm, not because they are fearless, but because their threshold is higher. Your goal is not to eliminate emotional spikes. That's impossible. Your goal is to raise the floor. Unstable men swing between extremes: high excitement, deep frustration, sudden confidence, sudden doubt. They live vertically. Stable men live horizontally: narrow emotional range, predictable reactions, measured responses. The difference is not intelligence. It is conditioning. Every time you react emotionally, you reinforce the pathway. Your brain learns, this is how we survive. Every time you don't, the pathway weakens. Stability is neurological attrition. You starve the reactions until they die. This is why calm feels unnatural at first. Your body expects reaction. When you don't provide it, it sends stronger signals: tension, restlessness, mental noise. Most men mistake this for failure. It is success. That discomfort is withdrawal. You are removing a drug your nervous system depended on. This is why the early phase of training calm feels worse before it feels better. You are no longer feeding the system what it expects. But then something shifts. The spikes shorten. The recovery speeds up. The urge to explain weakens. Eventually, calm stops requiring effort. It becomes default. This is the moment most men never reach, because they quit too early. They say, "I tried staying calm, but it didn't work." What they mean is, "I didn't like the discomfort of not reacting." Now we introduce the final internal lock, the one that separates stable men from everyone else. Stable men do not identify with emotion. They observe it. Emotion appears. They notice. They do not obey. Unstable men become the emotion. I am angry. I am stressed. I am anxious. Stable men say nothing. They wait. Emotion is weather. You are terrain. Weather passes, terrain remains. The moment you stop narrating your emotions, they lose power. No story, no justification, no expression. This is why journaling emotions endlessly often makes people worse. They are rehearsing instability. Stability is silence, internal and external. At the highest level, you do not manage emotions. You let them expire. Every emotion has a lifespan if you do not interfere. Fear peaks, anger spikes, frustration burns. Then they decay. Reaction prolongs them. Expression feeds them. Identification traps them. Calm men let emotions starve. This is why they appear unaffected. They are affected briefly. They just don't amplify it. This brings us to the final misconception. People believe calm men lack intensity. The opposite is true. They feel everything. They just don't leak it. Leaking emotion is not honesty. It is lack of containment. Containment is power. When you contain emotion, you choose where it goes. Into focus, into strategy, into movement. Unstable men burn emotion in place. Stable men convert it. This is why calm men act decisively. They are not numb. They are directed. You cannot build this by motivation. You build it by refusal. Refusal to react immediately. Refusal to explain yourself. Refusal to perform emotion. At first, people will push harder. They want the old version. They want the feedback. Do not give it. Eventually, behavior changes. Not because you demanded it, but because the system adjusted. This is the final rule. The calmest man in the room sets the emotional ceiling. Others rise or fall toward him. If you stay stable, the room stabilizes. If you react, chaos spreads. This is leadership without speech, authority without force. And this is why calm is rare, because it requires discipline without applause. No one sees you not reacting. No one praises restraint. No one rewards silence immediately. But over time, everything shifts. People trust you more, test you less, listen longer. They may not know why, but their nervous system does. You have become predictable in the most dangerous way, unshakable. This is not personality, it is training. And training always works for those who finish it. There is a final stage most men never reach. Not because it is complicated, but because it removes their last illusion. At this level, calm is no longer something you do. It is something that happens automatically because there is nothing left inside you that needs to prove itself. Instability is always connected to identity, to the need to be seen, to the need to be right, to the need to be understood. When those needs die, calm survives on its own. Watch closely. The man who explodes is defending something fragile. The man who explains himself is protecting an image. The man who reacts immediately is afraid of losing control of perception. Stable men have already let that go. They do not guard an image, they guard a direction. When someone insults them, they do not hear a threat, they hear noise. When pressure increases, they do not feel urgency, they feel clarity. This is because they have separated self-worth from momentary outcomes. Most men tie their value to how things go right now. Respect, success, approval. So when any of those are threatened, the nervous system screams. Stable men already decided that no single moment defines them, so nothing can hijack them. This is the quiet secret behind real confidence. It is not belief. It is non-attachment. Once you detach from outcomes, pressure loses leverage. You stop negotiating with fear. You stop bargaining with anxiety. You stop rushing to defend yourself, and suddenly, time slows. This is not poetic. It is neurological. When the amygdala stops firing alarms, the prefrontal cortex takes over. Decision-making returns. Language sharpens. Vision widens. This is why calm men seem intelligent under pressure. They are not smarter. They are available. The mind only works when it is not under siege. This is also why fake calm fails. Holding tension inside while pretending to be calm only delays collapse. True calm has no pressure behind it, no resistance, no suppression. It is the absence of inner argument. At this stage, even silence changes quality. It is not awkward. It is heavy. People feel it. They slow down around you, lower their voices, choose words carefully. Not because you intimidate them, because your stability forces self-awareness. Unstable people need movement, noise, reaction. Your stillness becomes a mirror, and most people don't like what they see. This is why calm men are often misunderstood. They are called cold, detached, distant. In reality, they are simply no longer leaking energy. They are conserving it. Energy saved becomes attention. Attention becomes precision. Precision becomes effectiveness. And effectiveness looks like power. Here is the final reframe. Calm is not softness. It is compression. Everything you feel is packed inward, focused, contained. Like a blade, noise scatters force, stillness concentrates it. This is why calm men move decisively when they finally act. They have not been burning fuel emotionally. They strike once, and it matters. This is also why emotionally stable men are rarely impulsive. They wait until action is unavoidable. Impulse is always insecurity disguised as confidence. True control is patience without tension. At the end of this training, you stop asking, "How do I stay calm?" because the question itself disappears. You are calm because there is nothing left inside you that demands reaction. No unresolved identity, no hunger for validation, no fear of silence, only direction, and direction does not panic. This is why calm is rare, because it requires death, not physical, psychological. The death of needing to be seen, the death of needing to be right, the death of needing to be safe in every moment. Most men never allow that death, so they live reactive lives. But if you finish this process, you cross a threshold. Pressure becomes signal. Emotion becomes data. Silence becomes weapon. And calm stops being something you train. It becomes who you are when nothing is added. This is not personality. It is what remains after everything unnecessary is stripped away. If you can hold this state, you will never need to announce strength. Others will feel it before you speak. And that is the final form of calm. Not loud, not visible, not performative, unmovable.